Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Anu Chabra on the line, and she is founder of Women in Finance Group and Nasara Capital. And this episode is part of our Super Return Berlin series, where we bring you the best of those that attended and participated in Super Return, which took place in Berlin. Anu, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thanks for having me.
All right. So excited to have you on the show today to learn more about your background and really what you're doing in building communities that create opportunity. So, the story behind Women in Finance Group, I'm excited to get into that. But before we do, I understand you're at Super Return in Berlin. Maybe tell me a little bit about the backstory. Have you been in the past? Is this your first time? What's the connection?
Oh, yeah. If I told you how many times I've gone, you'd find out how old I am. Luckily, this is all on audio, so people won't. But I actually have been going for quite a few years. I had been a participant or a attendee in the earlier years, and in the last few years, I've been gracing the stage. Have
Wow.
been invited to contribute on various panels.
That's amazing. And a lot of different ways you can spend your time, a lot of organizations, a lot of conferences. Why this one? Why the support for so many years? Like, what makes this one so special to you?
So I think one thing about what Super Return in particular is that it is in my opinion, and I would like to say in the opinion of my peers, one of the flagship, the Berlin one in particular, but also all of the other ones that they do. You know, they run fantastic conferences. The Berlin one is really the flagship private markets event in Europe where
Mm,
you have GPs and LPs pretty much from around the globe. And that's where you want to be if you want to meet everyone in I say the same room. I mean, they have multiple rooms, right? They have
yeah, it's
multiple
big.
conference stages, multiple side events, and multiple discussions are happening at the same place. I mean, meetings. I don't know what
Mm.
the official count is, but I don't know. Hundreds of meetings are happening at any given time. So it's the place to be. If you're in private markets, that's where you want to be.
Wow. Let's switch it up a bit here. So I want to get into Women in Finance Group and also Nasara Capital. Maybe start with Nasara Capital. Give us a little bit of an overview over the firm, please.
Yeah, sure. So Nosera Capital is a regulated fundraising entity which I set up a few years ago. Now, my background has been I've been in-house IR fundraising for private market firms for the last 7, 8 years. Before that, I worked in hedge funds. So clearly, over all of this time, I have a huge Rolodex of investors across the institutional landscape, which also includes families. As I was leaving my last role at Micro Capital, it made sense to actually have the opportunity to work with several managers in which I felt that I was aligned with a particular strategy or product and not just in a pure fundraising capacity, but that I could work with managers in different ways. So
Mm.
hosting investment discussions, roundtable discussions, helping out with marketing, doing actually fundraising projects. So
Mm.
that's where you have a bit of flexibility when you sort of work for yourself. You can pick and choose the strategies you think, you have high conviction on, and you can partner with firms in different ways and according to their needs. So it made
Yeah.
sense that, I sort of formalized and took Nosera Capital to market.
Amazing. That's an amazing story. And I'm curious, what led to Women in Finance Group? Like I see founder, of course. Like what led to founding that group?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to give you some sort of, big dream, big aspirations that I had to set up this community, but
Mm.
unfortunately, the story is it's exciting what we're building, but I
Yeah.
don't really have an exciting starting point. It was literally 10 women who came together and we met at a bar. This was coming out of the
Hold
second
on, this is
lockdown.
exciting for me, Anu. I love that. I love that. Like, all right, there's 10 women. We met in a bar. We're like, we're getting it. No, this is a great setup. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I'll carry on for a few more seconds then. So we meet in a bar, and it was purely from the idea that I thought as I was getting older, what promotion would I get? As in, like,
Mm,
if you're already head of fundraising and you're reporting into the CEO, what is the next job to have? Well, that's the
mm,
CEO's job. And in many cases, you either don't want to do the CEO's job, but there are also not very many of those. So,
right.
well, then the other route I thought would be being a founder of my own business. Well, I thought actually, let's forget all of that to even start a business, you need an idea, of course, that's a given, but you also need a network. I don't know
Mm,
many people. I mean, I fundraise, But do I know many women, many men, where I can just pick up the phone to say, hey, I've got an idea. What do you think of it? So that sort of made me think that actually other women may also value that. The reason it's a women's network, obviously it's easier for me to network with other women. I network with men all the time, is that men already do this very well. They have a
Mm.
drink in the pub, they go and watch football, depending on which country you're on, you call it soccer from the US, but they already bond over, these things, and they talk about work, they talk about business, they talk about deals. Women don't. So
Mm.
this is kind of the inception. And as 10 women came together, they loved the format so much that every month we multiplied from there. Every person who showed up brought another person the next time. And there's where you have the multiplier effect. And today we are about, actually, sorry, that figure's a little bit out of date. We're about 4,500 senior women internationally.
Wow.
All of the locations you mentioned, London, New York, Berlin, Amsterdam, Munich, Paris, and we are growing. So this year we've opened up in France, Luxembourg, and Germany.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. What do you attribute some of the success of that, even just that multiplying factor? What do you attribute some of that success to?
I well, it's a combination of things. I don't think there's actually, one
Hmm.
thing that leads to it. It's passion. So I've been hugely passionate about building it. There's clearly been a demand for it. Otherwise, you can have passion, but there's no demand for what you do.
Yeah.
So clearly, women want to connect. Well, there's already several networks out there, as we know, across multiple industries and multiple sort of financial organizations, and there's a community for pretty much everything: private equity, private debt, hedge funds. But I think what was so special is that I was passionate, there was demand, and I was filling a niche that some of the other networks were not fulfilling. I was trying to provide a community for senior women who are time constrained because of holding senior roles and maybe having other commitments outside of work, right? Like, maybe a family, maybe aging
Mm.
parents. So that cohort seemed to lack the most networking opportunities, and actually it's the most value add to them. And so it started off with really a cricket game as our first sporting event, and we've never looked back. Now we do a ton of things. We probably do anything between 40 to 60 events a year
Wow,
globally.
40 to 60 events a year globally. That's absolutely amazing. What a great story. Especially when I think about, not to take us off on a tangent, but like let's just say some of the online ways that we're connecting nowadays and some of the other things. But to see like this group of individuals come together and create this community, it's amazing. What do you think, or what kind of problems does this solve in the market that maybe weren't being solved in the past? Like as you see this and as this group evolves.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I didn't ask you, by the way, how old is it roughly? Like how long ago did this start?
It was 3 years, 3 years, but it's
Hold
been
on,
2 years where it's been fully active.
in 3 years it multiplied to that. That's hyper growth, I believe, in communities. For me, at least my understanding of it. That's amazing. What problem was it solving? Because obviously it's solving something.
Yes, yeah, and obviously initially, obviously, I needed to sort of test it, but clearly there was demand, and which is why women
Hmm.
kept coming. A few things really, that there was value for time. Now, women don't pay to join us. They are vetted through forms they have to fill out, etc., etc. They are invited to join certain events. So we vet profiles, we make sure they're suitable, but it was a good value for time. So there are plenty of networks out there, plenty of networking opportunities. So you either have good content, but not a good network. It's not very intentional, and it's very easy to design a poor event. And let's not forget, ultimately, people are giving their time. Time is money. And
Yeah.
so I think it was solving that. We're very intentional about who's in the room and the content. We
Mm.
do, of course, occasionally have social events, but our main focus is women coming together, not just learning, doing business and building connections. So if you can offer all of these facets within a 2, 3 hour time window, which is what women are taking out of their social lives, right? They may be
Mm.
not spending that time with their family or friends and giving it to come here, considering that women have so many other responsibilities and obligations. That's the gap I'm primarily filling. Also, it's mostly for senior women. There is a lack of networking opportunities for the mid to senior level cohort. And
Mm.
let's not forget, we make them a lot of fun because it's very easy to get bogged down and be just work oriented, which we are. We're very much work focused, but it is allowed, it is okay to have fun. Because I think sometimes women think that when you're working, you need to keep your head down and do your work. But if you can have fun and do work, that's even better. So
Mm,
I think we instill that energy.
yeah, that's great. It's a great story, and the numbers speak for itself. What's next? I mean, what's next? What's the vision for this going forward? I'm so curious.
Yeah, well, the so we're international
Mm,
in we can sort of call ourselves global already, but the real big ambition is to be around the world. That
mm,
every woman who's in finance feels part of this community, no matter where she is in the world. And she'd be joining us through online events that we do. We don't do that many, but we do, so we can connect everyone. And
mm-hmm.
we are forming local chapters in every country where there is a financial hub. And so that's the plan. I mean, I know it's very ambitious, but I probably won't give you a timeline because
I don't need that. Ambitious nothing. What started from 10 to over 4,000, you're on a roll. Like, like that's amazing. Like the numbers speak for themselves, so I don't
I mean,
doubt it.
obviously, one place we would really like to go, but that's we want to go in order, is I would love to be in Asia. So in India,
Mm,
India being one of the biggest markets. And so eventually, we want to be in the Middle East and India. Those are territories we're not in yet, but we don't want to run before we can walk. And we want to fully integrate ourselves in the US market, which is huge. We're already, as you know, started as a UK business and then all over Europe. So you need to dream big. Like when I was sort of a bit younger, I was like, oh, I can't dream big. That's almost not allowed. But I now think to myself, well, whose permission do I need?
mm. I love it. This is a great story, one that I'm very happy to bring to my audience. Anu, this has been a pleasure having you on the show today and learning more about your journey, what you're doing over at Nasara Capital, and then, of course, your group. That being said, if somebody's listening to this or watching this, and if they want to learn more about Women in Finance Group or Nasara Capital, how do they do that?
I'm sorry, I think I lost you a little bit, if you wouldn't mind
Oh,
repeating.
absolutely. So I said it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, first off, Anu, and I'm happy to bring this to my audience. And that being said, if somebody wants to listen to, or excuse me, if somebody wants to connect and learn more about either
Yeah.
Nasara Capital or Women in Finance Group, how do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking that. So, for women in finance, it's very easy. It's www.womeninfinancegroup.com. Please visit our website. Everything's listed there, our events, what we get up to, ways to reach out to us. We also have a very active LinkedIn page. That is, again, womeninfinancegroup.com. We have a YouTube channel. We have an Insta page, women in finance underscore G. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the group domain, but anyways, we're on Insta too. And for Nosira Capital, we do have a LinkedIn page, and that is Nosira Capital. So
Mm,
please find us, please message us. We can talk about fundraising. We can talk about women in finance events. We also run a women in family offices community within that 4,500 network. And we'd be delighted to speak
amazing. For everybody listening, just so
to,
you know,
anyone within your audience who with us. We're very open to all of that.
fantastic. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can connect and with Anu and her team. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me correct. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Anu, again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Adam. Really appreciate the opportunity.